Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Relatable Stories. I'm your host, Angeline Gahaza, and I'm so excited to introduce my guest today, Vimbainashe Tatenda. She is somebody that I really inspire to be a strong woman who's going to be talking about her journey with eczema. But just to introduce the show to those people that are joining us for the first time, when I was going through, or as I'm going through my healing journey with emotional abuse, I realized that there's a gap between the stories that we're telling and the stories that we actually living. So I wanted us to connect in a way that we can be able to relate to each other, so that we can also find out in our own stories the areas that we need to grow in, so that we can have the social and self-awareness to be able to actually have change inflicted in our community. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce Alda Vimbainashe. Hello, Vimbai. How are you? Welcome to
Angie,
Relatable Stories.
I'm good, Angie. Thank you.
How's your Sunday going? How's Cape Town? It's cold today.
It's cold. You can see, it's one of those days. Sunday's always busy for me, and stuff, but it's fine. I'm a bit laid back now. I don't have to cook. Woohoo!
You don't have to cook on Sundays. That's nice.
I've got an excuse today.
That's brilliant, Vimbai. So I didn't get to give everybody your bio. So if you could just introduce yourself, who is Vimbai to the world? I already know, but I would like for you to introduce yourself to everybody who's watching Relatable Stories today.
Vimbainashe Kahari or Elder Vimbainashe, like I'm called him. Those ones to me. Was born Vimbainashe Tatenda Gavaza in 1982. That's quite a long time ago. About 30 soon. I am excited about that. I grew up in a family of four. The right now I'm a mother. I'm the co-founder of Women with my husband. I'm an elder in ministry, Glory Ministries. I'm also a good person, if I can put that way. I'm also trying to start my own support, if I can put it that, for people living with eczema or people with vaccine or so that's in the pipeline. But for now, I'm supporting. We are waiting School of Empowerment. Yeah, I think that's Kalivim by. And I'm born on the 30th of March. You can calendar it, give me all your presents next year. You are supposed to buy me presents. I'm getting old. So, yeah, and
Oh,
that's me.
you
And
are a March baby.
yes, I'm a March baby.
I'm also a March baby. I'm born on the 19th of March, and I totally
Oh,
see how we are connected in the
we
way that
click
we relate to the world.
exactly. Yes,
I'm so honored. I'm so honored to have you on the show today, and I'm happy to help you raise awareness on the skin condition eczema, because to be honest with you, I also don't. I have limited information around what is eczema and how it affects if the person who actually has it. So before I even go into any other questions, I would like to just to know, what is eczema to a person who is living with eczema?
okay. Let me where I start. Okay. So if you Google eczema, they say it's a skin disease. They call it atopic dermatitis. Apparently, there are about 7 types of eczema, and all of them are different. But mine is one of the rarest because with eczema, it comes and goes. But with mine, it didn't go. Um, I think most of the common types of eczema, I think I can call it the baby eczema, where a baby gets eczema around the time they're born, 3 months or something like that, but it wears off by the time they're 6 latest. Then it needs. Then there's the second one which wears off when about 30, and one which wears off when about 18. So when my mother discovered that I had eczema, I was 3 months old. So the doctor just told me, because I'm coming from a background of a family with allergies. Eczema is it's an allergy disease. If I can, yeah, it's asthma and others. So I've got everything on me. Also with eczema, I also have hay fever and asthma. So it's a bit of a crazy combination. And so um, when I had, like I said, doctors thought I would go out of, they put it in the medical field, didn't grow out of it. I grow into it. So growing up eczema, uh, it's been a hard journey. At times it brought me to tears, but I'll try not to cry today. It's been a hard journey. It's been an emotional roller coaster. It's been a painful journey, very painful, both emotionally and physically. So my mom, which made the medical field, and she wasn't just a nurse. She was medicine. I think if you are from Zimbabwe, you know, it's like the majors, the top nurses at a clinic or hospital. So she had access to all medical things and she knew everything to do with eczema. But that didn't help me. And she tried to also, since she was already in the medical field, we went to the best doctors in Zimbabwe. I went to the best dermatologists, but they couldn't do anything. Um, the thing is, eczema is the eczema that I have. Don't
It looks like we have lost Vimbai there. But to the viewers now, Vimbai was just explaining what eczema is to her. And she was explaining how it's a medical condition, but then it's something that has caused her a great deal of pain because it's misunderstood, and also it's really really taxing on the person who's living with it. And I can only imagine, like I was telling you guys, that even with something that is not as chronic as eczema, that is acne, I went through a brutal phase in my life where I knew I felt like I was out of my own body, and I didn't accept myself as I was. And I can only imagine what a person who's living with eczema is feeling. And so I'm hoping that we can be able to get Vimbai back so that she can explain her story. But if you're watching and if you can relate to any of the feelings that happen because of your physical appearance, especially skin, please just send us a message and we can discuss that while we're waiting for Vimbai. Vimbai, are you there now? I see you joining.
So I depended a lot on antibiotics that time and
Vimbai,
some atopic
Vimbai.
creams. It was more of managing it than treating it. So it was very managed. And then now, I think in primary
Vimbai.
school, well, God bless me with good brains. So I managed to sell primary school. I was very intelligent. I went primary schools, both of them would never be in the top three. I was always like top three of the stream. I was never. I enjoyed primary schools because I was also quite intelligent. and it was okay, and a good support system. So both home and at school, I had good support system as well as church. And then come high school. High school was a different game altogether because I was getting into different territory. And high school kids, I mean, I actually understand when they say high school kids. I mean, high school was tough for me because now I was going into unfamiliar territory, and my it meant having to start all over again with getting new friends, new teachers, and everything. So I had a hard time high school. My eczema, because eczema is, since I'm very allergic to the environment. It used to flare the summer season. That time when we've got a lot of pollen, a lot of maize. People in Zim, they love growing maize. So you can't stop people from growing their maize, or you can't stop the rain from raining and the grass growing all over the place. So it was, first time was also a very hard time for me. So I would always catch up and beat them. That was primary school. Then high school came, mentors the more. And because of the safety of my skin, there were days when I couldn't do my schoolwork. Not because I didn't want, but because I couldn't. So I got into trouble with my teachers. I was almost expelled. But now, the, I think the advantage was I was always up to date with my classwork, even the sketch and all that. I was always up to date with my classwork, and my grades were good. In fact, better than most people. So the time I almost got expelled because of not doing my homework. My parents come home and records from the teachers explaining how it wasn't because I didn't want to do my homework, just because I couldn't do my homework. So high school was very emotionally challenging, and it was hard for me. But God being God, I managed to finish it. And I couldn't actually, I actually couldn't study for my O levels, but managed to pass. I actually passed with first class, not first class, but sorry, I managed to pass my O levels. I had four levels according to Zimbabwe standards, and I had nine O levels according to UK standards. The time I wrote to a writing college. So what high school was, just to remind it, when I was in grade 6, grade 7, the church I used to go to, they I used to go to Salvation Army in Waterfalls, Harare. Um, the church I used, the pastor was resident at that time. They actually spoke with my mom, and they raised money for me to come to South Africa to be treated. At that time, it was they raised enough money for me to come to South Africa by plane, to come and go back with my mom. I came here, I got treated, and then when we realized the environment here was better for me than in Sim. But for me to be here all the time was impossible to go to school. So I had to start going and coming back. But they really helped me a lot because now we would come back periodically to South Africa. And then that was the one of my part of my history. But I think the most challenging part about eczema is it eats up your skin. Your skin is not the same as everybody else. There were days when I would wake
Yeah.
up and my skin would be grayish, because it's weepy and it's septic and it's different. So with my eczema, it was never on the face until I was 10. It came to the face when I was 10 years old. And I actually remember that day because I had gone to sleep, and then I just felt so itchy on my face, and scratched, and then in the morning I woke up with a different face. Yeah, so that's how. So there are some incidents that have happened in my life that I still remember vividly because they were quite heavy and quite emotionally impacted on me. But I just want to thank God that I had a good support system, my church, my family,
Mm.
even my neighbors who understood. But the bad part about it was society. Society is cruel, I tell you. Society is
Yeah.
judgmental. Society will give you all the advice they can give. My mother was advised to go to my post to use different concoctions, use break fluid, lemon, onion. I've used I don't know. We all, as a mother, be to help your
Mm.
child. It was coming from a good place, yes. But and then people are saying akaroiwa, akazodi, uchende from apostle, all
Mm.
that, and yet it was something that was in me, and I even remember one incident where somebody guy said that I needed to be healed with lemon. And lemon and eczema don't go hand in hand. Lemon is acidic. And the guy is telling me
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to be healed to use lemon on my skin. So they forced me to they rubbed lemon all over my skin, saying, but you say they changed the next day. The next
Mm.
day they changed that was there was a bad reaction, an extremely bad reaction. So
Yeah.
it's been quite a roller coaster and all that. And the doctors that I went to try their best, I won't lie. They did skin tests, they did what and they gave me all the eczema treatment that's on market, your betamethasone, your hydrocortisone, and it didn't work. They didn't work. So you could see how desperate my mother was when somebody would say, I think I think you should try the story. And I think we will be lying to each other, our generation, if we say, especially back from Zimbabwe, you say you never pass through that journey where at some point your family had to go opposite direction because of Manzi Makaroiwa or whatever. So
Mm.
I went through that. But most of these people, they are like this, are in an open field with grass. So it meant if I go there, it's crazy. So now it would mean that whether this person from God or not, they would not miss me. You get it? And then
Mm.
give us options of and and then you'd go through all this all the healing process in courts where it wasn't even healing, it was torture. But I went through that, and it was a learning process. But one thing I want to thank God for is I've always had faith in God. I've always said, God, if you have skin, because I got to a time where I got tired of trying to heal myself of skin, and I was like, God, but if you're not taking me today, you better make it for me to live with this thing. Make me able to live my life, because I don't think I want to live a life where I'm going to be closed indoors. At times when I couldn't get out of the house, I was so
Yeah.
emotionally bruised. I wouldn't get out. I would only get out of the house when it's dark. Especially as a teenager, I would always get out of the house. I'm in the house. If I'm going to school, it's fine. I'm not going to school. So it was either church, school, or at home. I wouldn't go to the shops. If you want to send me to the shops, it is to be in the night, because I don't want people to look me. I don't want people to ask questions, because it meant we have to explain ourselves. So it was crazy. And high school, as I said, it was hard, because also
Yeah.
high school, your body is changing. And now for
Mm.
me, it was hard, because I'm now developing breast. Now you have to start my period, all that. So the fled really bad. It fled so bad that my breasts were affected. I had days where whatever top I would be wearing would be hugged to my body, because my breasts are oozing out pus or stress food, whatever it is that comes out of the human body because of the eczema. And then there's also
Mm.
the scaling. There were days I would sleep and wake up with the bed full of skin scales, because I've been scratching throughout the night, and my skin been peeling. So it would be like a fume, like your body when you're sleeping is
Mm.
full of this. Now that I talk about it, it's not as painful as that. But there were times talking to talk about it like now,
Mm.
but I can see your face, you're ashamed, ne? Yeah, and the skin would stink. Um, it would burn like on me. It was burning. It was it. So that was also one of the worst parts of my time when I was having the eczema. When the time was bad, um, especially in high school, it got out of, and it was everywhere. When I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. My leg.
Whew, I think we are having connection issues with Vimbai. I was making out what she was saying, and I hope you guys were hearing her as well, because her story is about pain. Is about people not understanding the disease. It's about people not understanding the condition. It's about stigma that comes with it, but it also comes with emotional pain that one experiences alone, because they cannot understand why they have to scratch, how they have to wake up in a bed that is thinking of um, uh, because there's this skin disease that's like haunting them and all of that. So I personally can relate to having a skin that is not what people expect, because everybody, if they see something that is outside what they know, they look at you differently, and that makes you feel very conscious of how you are and how you present, and that can affect how you do in school. And Vimbai is talking about how she was actually even very intelligent, and she could see that she had more to give, but a lot of it was being masked by the fact that she had to deal with skin issues as well. So I don't know, guys. It's very important for us to understand what this disease is all about, and Vimbai is trying to explain to us what exactly it's all about, so that if we ever have children that have it, or we encounter people that have it, we are not insensitive about how we approach it with them, because we need to help people become comfortable in their own skins, even if there's a condition that they obviously didn't bring upon themselves. I've got a comment here from people in the audience. Someone says, living with it my entire life, it can be pretty difficult and hectic emotional journey, feeling like you're not good enough or pretty enough. And it took me years to feel comfortable in my own skin. And I realized that eczema is something I was born with. It's not my fault when it breaks out due to stress or other things. For me, it flared up with certain things I ate, and stress and worry definitely impacted how severe it became. I've tried so many natural remedies over the years, and I haven't been luck. Um, Vimbai is back. Hi, Vimbai.
Hey, I think this person is talking about me. Like she or he can relate to what it is. Especially when it comes to using remedies. When the Tianchis aloe vera thing started, the way they market those things to us, especially me, I was even made an ambassador of one of them, only to realize that it wasn't good for me. It actually made me worse. So it's been a journey, and I tell you, it's been something. But I feel like the person you do feel pretty enough. Yes, especially with um. I, I was talking to my husband earlier, and I said, you know what? I actually have a tactic of not looking into the mirror when my skin is flaring up, and I don't want to see it, because it hurts when you wake up, you look at yourself and you feel like, what's up? I've now I learned a technique when still young of how to avoid mirrors. Even if I have a row of mirrors, it can be there, but I won't look at myself in the mirror.
Mm, mm.
That's how bad it can be on yourself. But I think now that I'm sharing my story, I've seen how strong I am. Living with
Yes.
eczema, you don't just give eczema to anyone, and it's painful. I think the only pain
Yeah.
that's worse than eczema is giving birth. For me, I think for me, the amount of pain that I felt in my life, only birth been maybe a car or because. But then the good thing with giving birth is it's gonna be for just a day and it's over. Like eczema,
Yeah.
way up can go for weeks or months or depending on what you've reacted to.
Yeah.
If it's a
Yeah.
season, then you are literally in trouble. You you can't do anything about it. You just have to grit your teeth and grow through it. And um, so on my journey, I think I'm just going to be going back and forth, back and forth. Um, and then on, like I said, my mom tried everything. That includes these natural remedies they've brought on board now.
It's such a shame we're having network issues with Vimbai, but she's sharing such a touching story about how she had to navigate the pain that came with having eczema to the point where her parents were actually listening to society and people in the community who were saying this is not normal, this is evil spirits, and they have to go to those prophets that help you to get rid of the skin disease. It became about varoi and all of that, but scientifically we know what it is, and all of those things that she had to go through in terms of remedy and the things that were prescribed by the prophets. It was all emotionally taxing for the young child who was dealing with other issues in society around her skin not being the same as others. And I realized and I recognized this to be a major issue with self-esteem and self-confidence, because if you have to, without a skin disease, without any other barriers, it's already hard enough to assert yourself as a unique being and somebody who is worthy of being listened to and who has emotions that are valid. But when you have such a condition, there's also another barrier that is in between you and people that makes it harder for you to even show up as a person, because people see you first as a victim of this skin disease, and sometimes people are scared of you and they don't even want to relate or connect with you. And so you have things that you have to deal with yourself that other people have the opportunity to deal with friends and family with, that you can't. Some I've got another comment here. This guest of ours says it's definitely seasonal. My skin is at its best in summer, and it's definitely painful physically. It feel like you can't touch it. So I feel for anyone who has skin issues, no matter how minor it is, it's hectic emotional struggle. And I agree with you. It's a hectic emotional struggle. It really isn't just about eczema. It's about any skin disease, because once there's a physical appearance of something on your skin, people are going to wonder what it is. They're going to look at you differently. But it's even worse when people don't understand what it is. Their comments or their questions might be insensitive, and that makes us more self-aware in a way that is not good, in a way that we blame ourselves for this skin disease or this skin condition, and then we start to, our life revolves around the condition as opposed to us growing in the areas that we're actually good in, and growing confidence in the areas that we are meant to grow in. So the issue really is about us understanding this specific or different skin diseases or conditions in such a way that we do not cause or inflict pain in people that are trying to do their best with what they've got. That is a skin that is flaring up. And with eczema, as Vimbai was explaining, I don't have much knowledge around this disease, but it seems like there is an unpredictability with this disease. You do not know whether tomorrow you're going to wake up looking the way you were looking the night before you sleep. You could wake up and your skin is flared because you ate something that didn't agree with you, or you were in a certain specific condition of the environment that didn't agree with you. You wake up and your skin looks different. You can't even look at yourself, and you can't even feel beautiful in your own skin, let alone, and so you can't predict what other people in the society, especially if you're still going to school, and then you have to meet children that also don't understand what you're going through. You can't predict what's going to happen, and all of those factors are things that you have to face as a victim of this situation, because you are learning as you go, but you're also having to deal with all these external pressures coming from your peers. For me, that sounds like a whole lot of pain. And Rebecca was talking about how it's such a roller coaster of painful emotions, and I think that the best that we can do as a society, as a people that haven't gone through it, is try to understand and imagine how it can feel like if you are in those shoes, so that we don't become insensitive to the people that are going through these things. I know I was reading an article in the past week about how we ask a simple question as, have you tried this, have you tried that, as if these people haven't been through enough already. It's, if they've been born with the condition, chances are they've already tried everything under the sun, things that have made them feel uncomfortable already, just to feel normal. And when you come there acting or feeling like you are giving them a remedy to what is obviously troubling them, it is, and it can come off as insensitive. So my thing is, as a person coming from a place of not have being happy in my own skin, I would just like to urge people that are listening in and have had such a condition to take a step back and imagine if they were in their shoes, what they would like to hear, so that we are not insensitive to other people. I've got another comment here. Susie says, my niece also has eczema and has been a journey for her, and it flares up depending on seasons. She's able to manage it better now. It's important that people educate themselves on skin issues, etc. Even think to yourself, how would you feel if someone was to stare at you? Would you like that happening to you from humanity perspective? Sizio, I'm 100% with you. How would you feel if anybody was just staring at you because there's something that you cannot get rid of? I had a pimply face, like I said to you guys. There's nothing you can do at the point to get rid of the pimple right away. If it comes in today in the morning, you can't expect it to be gone by the evening. But when a person looks at you as if it was something that you could change, it makes you even feel like it's your fault that it's there. And it then stops you from being able to be anything but whatever is related to that skin condition. And if we could take the time, like Suzu is saying, to empathize and to think, if it was me, what would I want to hear? What did I want the next person to do for me? That would go a long way for a person who's dealing with it, because they wouldn't have to concentrate only on that side of their lives. They would also be able to live their lives with the disease. And Vimbai has not been able to share with you yet where she is now, a journey of wisdom now, where she's like at the point where even if people won't accept me in a job, even in a point where people don't accept me as a friend, I have a husband, I have a family, people that love me and accept me, that understand my skin condition. So I'm not going to allow external influence or whatever the people that don't understand do to influence how I'm going to feel or show up in my life. And this is the point where I wanted us to get to, where we're talking about self love. This is the point where you don't rely on who your anybody else's validation to know what you're going to be able to bring. Vimbai says it best. She says, I'm an intelligent person. I was an intelligent child. She was able to recognize who she was, despite the fact that there is a barrier that overshadows that feeling of being intelligent, of being amazing, of being a princess, of being great, right? Because this first thing that people see, and that's her skin. So Viva is back. I'm so excited. I hope she can be able to speak for herself and tell you how she's managed to, you know, grow with this disease and embrace and accept that it is there, but it does not define who she is. Vimbai, can you hear me? Oh man, technology has a way of bumming things out. But self love, I'm going to continue to say to anybody who's going through such a situation where there's there's going to be ignorant people. There's going to be people that don't know or are not even willing to find out more about what's going on with you. They're just going to be crass and rude about what they see, and they'll judge it from the perspective of a person who doesn't even empathize or have compassion for other people. So those people, we cannot allow them to drive our lives. We cannot allow them to influence how we show up. There's people who are going to learn, and there's people that are going to resist that. And once we are aware of the fact that there's going to be people like that, we have to be strong in who we are. We can only be shaken if we are not confident in who we are. If we have not accepted what is in front of us. That is, I was born with a skin disease. I was born with a condition that I cannot hide or change. But I probably have been made an advocate for those people that can't speak for themselves in that situation. Vimbai, I've been trying to explain
Hello?
the stigma around eczema. Vimbai, are you back? Vimbai, can you hear me? We don't have Vimbai, but I've got another comment. Everyone's eczema is different, and what may work for one may not work for another. Everyone's skin reacts differently. Also, the mind is so powerful, it is easier said than done. But once you, as a person with eczema, realize that the condition is not there, it's not their fault, and you tell yourself every day, I'm strong, I'm beautiful, and whoever doesn't accept me for who I am, then they don't belong in my life. And that's how I came to become comfortable in my own skin and learn to love myself more and accept. Oh my God, this is such a powerful message. Um, I want to hear more of what um, this guest is saying. But basically, from what I can hear, this is someone who has gone through it and has been able to actually rise above it, accepting that this is not going away, but also this is not my fault. And also I am much more than this barrier to social interaction, because it becomes a barrier to social interaction because of the stigma around it, because of the ignorance of the people around us that don't actually know. And sometimes it's not even ignorance, it's just that it has never really come to their attention to understand that there's different skin conditions that can affect people differently. And I love what you said, that there's a point where you as a person have to decide that I am strong, I am beautiful, and it does not matter what other people say. I'm who I am, and only those people that can accept how God made me and how I'm showing up are important in my life. And those people are the only people that belong in my life. The rest, they can stay out. Vimbai, are you here? Can you hear me now? Vimbai? Hello, Vimbai. Oh, technology. But yeah, like as you guys are saying, eczema is different. It's going to show up differently. For some, it comes up when they're babies and it goes away completely. For some, it stays with them forever. For some, it flares up in season. Some, it's about stress, it's about eating, it's about their habits. It's going to show up differently. But at the end of the day, it's going to have a physical appearance that people can see. And those that don't understand it um, are not going to be are going to be insensitive about how they show up with you. So self-love, as we are pointing out today, is about you not paying attention to ignorant people, not making your life about just one part of your life, because there's so much more that you have to offer. There is so much more, especially the things that are hidden to everybody, things that we don't see all the time, that are important about you. And that is important for you to celebrate. And you cannot let the physical appearance of your skin stop you from shining, stop you from being who God made you to be. You cannot dim your light because Angeline or the people from school, in high school, especially the children, when we're children, we are mean, we don't know, we don't have knowledge, we don't have wisdom, we're not mature enough to be compassionate and pathetic. But can we help our youth? Can we help each other get to a point where we can rise above stigma? So I've got a few more comments. So I said about the connection issues. Yes, I know it's so sad. We could have heard more from what Bimba has to say. Someone says, my mother never had an issue with her skin growing up. Suddenly, in her late 40s, she started developing eczema. It had been it has been difficult. It has been a difficult journey for her and quite difficult to accept. She's gone to several doctors, including a dermatologist, and I can see how it has her confidence has been affected by it. Um, Honestly, I think it's even harder if it just rocks up. You know, when you've known your skin to be clear, and you never had to worry about how your skin is, and then all of a sudden something happens. It's harder. It's almost like having an accident and you all of a sudden have an injury that you never had to deal with. If you were able to see and you can't see anymore, if you're able to talk, you can't talk anymore, if you're able to walk, you can't walk anymore. And it's such a painful thing to go through because a lot of people won't be able to understand where you're coming from, and a lot of people don't understand the loss of something that you were able to enjoy before. I think Vimbai is back. Hi, Vimbai.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, today we are having challenges. The weather is bad, so it's crazy.
I know. Thank you. I'm so glad that we can even hear you. We can hear
I
you
had to
now.
change.
I was
Yeah. I had to change. I-
Vimbai, we totally understand. And as long as we can hear you, it's great. We were talking about how the stigma around skin disease affects
Hello.
our self confidence. Can you hear me? It's so sad about the
Yes,
connection issues.
it does.
Today is so gloomy in Cape Town. Yeah, you know how it
It's the
is. The way
worst,
that
especially if um you. I was saying the stigma is the worst, especially in this age of tech. When I go to the hospital, is she's positive. Well, hello.
I can hear you, darling. I can hear you. Go on. Oh, Cape Town today is gloomy. It's Women's Weekend, and I think you know how our moods fluctuate. So in Cape Town, it was a bit sunny earlier, and then it started becoming a bit shady. So I think that's affecting our connection. But I've got a comment here. Say someone says 100% shine as you are. This topic tonight is very special. I couldn't agree more. I know as women, as women, it's important for us to look good. It's important for us to show up looking amazing, and this is why we draw, you know, our eyebrows, and we put makeup, because it's important for us when we show up to feel confident. And having a skin disease, a skin condition, sometimes actually it's actually a problem in you being able to show up the way you want to show up. You cannot even wear makeup because that's going to even cause a reaction. You can't hide it because there's no way to hide it. You just have to go into the world bravely, like a strong woman that Rimbai is, just the way you are. And not a lot of us can do it, especially the ones that are actually judging. We are judging people that are able to come bravely with their skin just the way it is. And we can't even we can't stand blemishes. We can't stand spots on our faces. We have to put makeup, right? And then when we look at them, we are like, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you wear makeup? You don't understand the underlying issue, the skin disease, the condition that's coming with it. And that is not the individual's fault. And so I want to appeal to us as women, having the knowledge of how it is difficult to just walk into a room and feel confident, to just go be in a part of a group and feel confident and feel beautiful. How important it is for us to feel beautiful. We all want to feel like a princess, like you're the best version of yourself every single day, especially where physical appearances are involved. So it just takes us getting in touch with those emotions to know and understand how another woman might be feeling if they're not able to do that, and not be able and be in a position where we can be sensitive in how we approach or even ask the questions that we to know the things that we want to know. Because yes, it's okay for us to be curious and understand what is going on with our sister, but we cannot do it in a way that takes them a step back from where they've grown to be. And this is the problem with our society. We don't know what eczema is. We don't know what skin conditions are out there. Even the ones that we do know, like pimples, we still look at people weirdly and as if you've got an STI or something. And like I said, I didn't have anyone stigmatizing me at all, but I was just feeling some type of way. And I just want us ladies to come to a point where we feel for each other. We need to be kind to each other. uh, Someone says, for me, when my skin used to flare up, I tried hiding it with makeup to feel more confident and comfortable. But the makeup made it worse. Makeup makes you feel beautiful, and that's fine. But as women, we need to look in the mirror and see ourselves as gorgeous without makeup. I can't tell you enough how amazing this comment is for me right now, because with makeup, yes, we can look extremely beautiful. We can be out of this world. We can look the best that we can be. But it is so hard for us to love ourselves so beautiful without it. And I think that it's important for us to first get in touch with the beauty that has nothing to do with our physical appearance before we put makeup. And that, I think, is what Vimbai is doing right now, because she has accepted her condition as it is and she feels beautiful with it. And that is where I would like for us all to get. Vimbai, can you hear us and can you comment on this? It seems like it's still a connection issue, but I just put it to the screen our comment here. We need to be
That
kind in our
when you
peers.
accept that this is what is.
Go on, Vimbai.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear
We can hear you, Vimbai. It's just a little broken, but we can hear you. So you can go ahead and speak. I think we need to bring Vimbai back just to hear more of her story, because we're almost done with the hour. But I think there's more that we need to learn from her journey, just so we can be able to cultivate the self love that she is finally able to have gotten to. Because there was a whole journey in her childhood, the things, the beliefs that she had, the struggles that she had, that we can do away with for our children and the generations to come. They don't have to go through the same things that we suffered through, because now we are more aware, that now we are more self-aware, and we can be able to teach children to accept other children just the way they are. For people that have suffered or are suffering with eczema, this is a nugget from one of the people in the audience. Um, as a tip from someone who has suffered from 34 years with it, the remedy for flared up eczema in your face is just plain water. Green tea, ice cube rubbed on your face to soothe it, and very light facial moisturizer with no perfumes. That has worked for her, and maybe try it for yourself. Maybe that will help, because it seems like there's nothing else that that is in this remedy, just water and green tea, all natural stuff. So this could help you, because it is an issue with it is an issue with just the feeling uncomfortable without anybody looking at you. So take the tips, try it at home, and if it works, tell somebody else. that is going through the same issues so that they can also feel comfortable in their own skin during the time that eczema flares up. Another common thing that I'm noticing from everyone's comments is that eczema is also affected by stress. And so I want to stress this as people that are compassionate, as fellow sisters that want to uplift other sisters and any other people that are suffering with eczema. You do not want to add to the stress. You do not want to be the part of the problem. So if stress is already something that the eczema patient has, you don't want to add to it by stigmatizing them, by making them feeling uncomfortable to socialize with other people, for making them feel uncomfortable at work. I know it's hard for a person who has eczema to actually keep a job because there's flaring that's going on. So I'm hoping that we can take this as a lesson, as something that we take home to not aggravate the responses to eczema. Vimbai, can you hear me? And are you able to add any comments?
Yes, I can hear you. Unfortunately, I couldn't share as much as I wanted. Yes, the stress does affect, and unfortunately, I've lost jobs because of it. But I think I've come to understand that um, at times it's not their fault. They also don't understand it. So I think there's also a need to just for more educational things concerning the eczema. We need to educate each other about it because we need to understand that I could never give you eczema even if you have money or whatever, because it's mine. It will never get to you. You will never get to me. Never get to you. And I don't even understand their feelings when it comes to eczema. How it's just for you. Yeah, like for me, I think both sides of my mother and my dad, I'm the only one with eczema. So it's not like
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
I definitely have to bring Ribai back. She's got a lot to say to the community, and she's got a lot of nuggets to help the people that are walking through the journey, living with eczema. So we will schedule another episode where she talks to us about it. But from the audience, I'm so grateful that a lot of you have sharing their stories, and I've got a comment here. Someone says, don't stress. Very important. Stress is bad for your body in general, not only your skin. So don't stress if you have eczema, but also don't stress the people that already have these conditions. Don't be a part of the problem. Don't be the reason why your sister is feeling low. We are here to uplift each other, and we are here to help each other cultivate self love. So if you have it, it's not an excuse for you to not love yourself. You can definitely learn from Vimbai. Vimbai, we are talking about how we are going to bring you back. An hour is gone and
Bye.
our network is bad, but we know we've got a lot to learn from you and your journey.
Yeah.
So we'll reschedule this talk again so that you can tell us how you managed to actually rise on top of the stigma and get to a point where you love yourself and accept the way things are, knowing that you've lost jobs, knowing that you have lost opportunities to have friendships, but you are happy in your marriage with Pepe, and you've been able to love your husband and not make him feel like like he made a
We need
mistake.
to know
After
another one.
some, yeah, man. Like,
Yeah,
do you know when you have issues,
it can only
self-esteem
be
issues, it
God.
can become toxic in a relationship. But it doesn't seem like you're making Pepe miserable at
Yes.
all. He's the happiest man I know.
We'll talk about that later. And no, it's one of
Okay.
that. So it's okay. I'm sorry about the network today. It's been one of those
No,
crazy days.
no, no, no. I totally understand. Let's reschedule. Definitely, we'll reschedule. To everybody who's listening, I know this is a very important topic. Everybody has been saying it's a very important topic. It covers a lot of other skin issues that we as women have, and it's very important for us to talk about this journey. So, Vimbai, I'm going to definitely book some time with you again so that you can come back where we've got
Yes.
a good network and you can tell us your journey. But for today, do you have any comments for anyone to take on,
Okay.
to take talk with them this Women's
Yes.
weekend?
Just say, no matter what we look like, I know we also have the albinos, we've got the eczema, we've got the acne. Um, whatever way you look like, you are the most beautiful person in the world. Because it took me looking myself in the mirror and thinking, I'm unique, I'm me. There's no one else like me, and there's no one else with my eczema. That makes me very unique. So
Yes.
and on top of that, loved me the way I am. It's even I'm a leader in the church, and it's it's not me. And thinking that there are people with who could have in this position, it shows
Hmm.
me that okay, something is. So I think it was a wake up call. You know what? Yes, you used to be like that time, but
Yeah.
now we have you are it's like I'm blooming. I'm starting to fully bloom. Some people bloom at 21, 18. Some of us are going to start blooming at almost 40, but that's my time. And um it's now I think I've learned to accept. I've got good days, I've got bad days. I still smile. Like now, even
Yeah.
my face is acting up, but you want it now because I've learned to I've accepted it, and I've learned to live with it. And you know what? I look much prettier without pretty. I'm very pretty without makeup, and I love beautiful in without makeup. And I don't think I'll ever put makeup on the face. Besides the fact that yet
I can barely hear you, but I can barely hear her, but I can feel her. I can feel how Vimbai is so much in love with herself now. And I appreciate how hard it is because she has not gotten rid of it. Like I I had to wait for the point where I didn't have acne to actually say I'm pretty. And Vimbai knows she's pretty. And I'm so excited for her because it's so good that you can look past what anybody else can say and see. And that is what we preach about self love. And I hope that somebody is going to be inspired by just hearing what Wimba had to share. I'm going to bring her back definitely. But for now, women, ladies, um, please know that no matter how you look, you are lovable, you are special, just the way you are. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week ahead. I'll see you next time. Cheers.